Hello, my name is Taylor Creighton.
I am Kiera Matthews.
I'm Chloe.
Hello, I'm Darius.
All right, you go ahead. Ladies first.
Please go.
Okay, never mind. I'm Colin.
I'm Callie.
I would have to say Overton Park. Um, we had a lot of great conversations. We got to know each other. A lot of hypothetical conversations where it helped me understand who she was mentally, whereas like physically, obviously. And
Sorry, keep going.
okay.
Keep going.
And it just let me understand who she was as a person, and it just made me want to get to know her more, go into this relationship, and it made me fall in love with her because that's who she is as a person on the inside.
I would definitely have to say Overton Park, which was our second date.
Second date.
Yeah, second date.
Went to Sonic.
Went to Sonic.
Overton Park. Talked.
But we had a lot of deep conversations that I've never had with anybody else. A lot of hypotheticals, like you said, but It was a really good date. And that's when I knew that I loved him. Didn't say it, but I knew it.
I said it.
You said it.
I said it like before that date. So
Were we in the School of Music? Where were we? It was senior year in high school.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it was like 6 years ago. We were either at Memphis
It was
or at
Austin
Austin P. It was at Austin P.
Uh-huh.
So we were in there like auditorium, and we were watching a performance by their jazz band, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And Darius was holding my hand, and he was shaking because we had been together for like 3 months. And he was shaking, and I could feel his palms sweating, and I felt it, and I felt like he was going to say it. And so he looked at me, and he was like, Chloe. And I was like, Darius, I love you too. And then the crowd was clapping because the song was over. So it was like that little firework moment. So I knew.
Honestly, I told him that I loved him first out of the two of us, and it was like a week into us officially dating. We were sitting in the central parking lot in his truck, and he looked back at me and said, "Are you sure?"
It's true. I did say that, but that was only because I felt the same way. And I said that right afterwards, but she left that part out. So it was really soon into us even dating, if we were officially dating then or not. So, but I mean, I reciprocated it then.
Tabor is a very interesting person. He has a lot of layers. He's like a parfait. He has a lot of layers.
I'm a dessert.
Yeah, you're sweet like one too.
Oh, thank you.
You're like a parfait, so he has like different layers, and I love learning, and it keeps me invested because I love learning about his different layers, and I learn something new about him every single day, and it's like a surprise every day. So that's what definitely keeps me invested.
No matter how upset I get, there's something like in my heart like that tells me, okay, you went too far. Let's stop. Think about this.
And I think, like, it's because we are best friends. And, like, we were friends in high school for a couple of years before we got together. So, like, just the feeling of not having my best friend anymore makes me, like, that's not worth it. Whatever we arguing about, just wash the dishes. Like, it's not worth it.
That's just, I don't want to say just part of it, but like, they're the person that's there for you when you're at your worst and have been, no matter what. Even if they're having a bad day, if they see you're having a worse day, they like put in that extra effort for you. And so why not do the same for them in return?
What motivates me is that she has such a deep love for me and deep caring, is that why can't I give that back to her? Why can't I build her up as much as she builds me up? Like, and she just makes me want to give her the best in life and do better as a person myself, make me into a better human being.
If you're not willing to work through something, how are you ever going to get anywhere in a relationship?
Communication, definitely, because in my past relationships, I would we would have an argument or a conflict, and either I would just get upset and like go off on myself and I wouldn't talk to anybody. But in this relationship with Tabor, I'm sorry, I'm about to cry. But in this relationship, he's really open to communicating with me, and he wants to figure out like what's wrong with me, or like why are you upset? What do I need to change so I can be better? Yeah.
Yeah, people change a lot, especially in that time period, because we went from teenagers to young adults together, from high school to college to trying to move into our careers. Like, we've changed a lot, and it's not a bad thing. You know, the person that he got with is not the person that he has today. She is not here. I don't know who that girl was, but she's not here. So I think the biggest lesson that I've learned from him is it's okay for me to change in myself and in our relationship, and for us to have different roles than we thought we might have had, and just to change and grow together. I think that's the biggest lesson.
I'd say patience.
That's what I was gonna say.
Because, like,
I have a very short temper, and Colin tests that temper literally every day.
yeah. And mine's not the same way. Mine is like in results, I guess, and wanting to see something happen or a conversation happen. You know, I want to just go ahead and jump on it and start right then when she's not. And so I just have to slow down and be like, give her time. And then, so that's the way it is for me. And hers is I just test her nerves.
Mine would be compromising, give and take, and that she wants different things in life and I want different things in life, but we're wanting to be together doing those different things.
I think it's part of like learning to be comfortable with yourself, which is something that I had to learn. It's not necessarily just accepting it's not just like a surface level thing, accepting your like appearance and stuff. It's just accepting like what person you're becoming. So like she was saying, we both had to grow. I just had to get comfortable with the person that I was becoming and the person that I wanted to be, and get in there and the journey to get there, and allowing each other to grow. Because that's another thing. You can't just stop the other person from growing. That causes a lot of problems. They have to go through whatever phases they're going to go through, because everybody goes through those. And if you try to hinder those, it's not a good thing at all. Yeah, it's trouble. Yeah.
I'm also I keep to myself no matter who you are, even to my family. So Colin has definitely tried to bring it out in me, which he has some. It's honestly a huge difference from where I started. So
Is that difficult?
very.
It's like pulling teeth. Like, I'm serious. It really is.
Not an emotional
She's so
person.
closed off. Or was. I mean, she still is, but like now I see it in body language and the way she acts and reacts. I don't have to have her words to know it, to know what she's saying, you know, without actually saying it.
Did it always feel like he was trying to pull you out of that
I mean, most of the time. Sometimes he just gets angry, which I can't blame him, because I know it's hard to deal with. It's just not something in me that's going to change overnight.
Back to the patience.
That's basically what, compromising is. That she wants something in life, I want something in life, and I just think we got to figure out how we're gonna do that together as a team.
Yeah.
We settle our differences in person.
Because you can be in person and just fight each other.
I mean, we
10
do that
seconds.
too. We do that too. I mean, like, I won't sit here and say that we haven't like not yelled at each other, but we've yelled at each other, but it's been in a positive way. It's been more constructive than just tearing each other down as people. Like, it's not insulting. It's just like, it's passionate. Our arguments are very passionate, very passionate.
No, we don't.
Different. It depends on the situation.
Right. But his temper is like he's a hothead. I'm a hothead. So the thing is, we talk to each other crazy. But I know for a fact I'm yelling at him, but I'm not mad. And he's yelling back, but he's not mad. And we know that about each other. But other people looking in are like, oh my God, should somebody step in? But but we're not, like, we're fine, because we'll be yelling and I'm like, dog, you want to get some ice cream? And he's like, yeah, like mid-conversation. That's us.
Yeah.
It might be yelling at first, but then like when it comes down to it, it's like, okay, you have an opinion that's different from mine, and I want to know why you have that opinion now, instead of me just screaming at you.
Yeah.
But so what we resolve it, we blow up. I need time to cool down. He doesn't. He wants to talk about it right then and there. And
I
I'm
can
like,
talk about it mid-temper, and long as I know, long as she doesn't say anything hurtful, I won't intentionally say anything hurtful. It just comes as the part when one person says something, the other one says something back. As long as there's nothing said back, it's fine. If one person says, like, hey, you didn't have to go there. But if neither one of us want to accept that one of us didn't have to go there, we're just going to constantly keep going back and forth.
yeah, and so we have to kind of come to a middle ground, because like I said, he wants to talk about it right after it happens. I want to go for a week and not even look at him. So middle ground, I'm like, give me an hour. Let me go think about myself and my life and my values, and we can come back and talk about this and talk about my timeline of what happened, yours, and see where the rift is. Because
That's always the issue usually.
yeah,
It's
because
just
he
different for-
remembers something completely different. I'm like, you did not say that, or I did not do this. Like, I did not do that. That didn't happen. I don't do that.
It's most of our arguments stem from the way it made one of us feel, and it comes from feelings getting hurt, because being together after 6 years, you just get so, I mean, even shorter periods of time, when you open yourself up to someone, it's just like that, the intimate feeling, it hurts so bad to get hurt by someone that you love, that you opened yourself up to.
Normally he says sorry,
That.
and it's fine.
It's just
Yeah.
That's the whole her being closed off. It's not just emotions. It's, I don't want to answer for her, but that's what it is. It's like she doesn't want to talk about it either. Like problems, she just wants to keep to herself. And even though there are problems, I think she sees it as her problem. And so that was the big thing for patience for me, is because, like I said, when there's a problem and we realize it, I want to talk about it right now. Let me say what I feel is the problem. You say what you think, and let's figure it out. But for her,
It takes me like a day to be ready to talk about something.
that's just like, drives me insane. Like I'm screaming on the inside, but I've gotten so much better at it, honestly. But compared to a year ago, I can go back. So, I mean, it still causes like little problems, but overall, oh yeah, for sure. Because I mean, what's the point in rushing into it if you know she needs to wait to gather her thoughts or whatever, you know? It's our time, not just mine.
Have you ever felt rushed
Oh.
to the process?
Absolutely. He gets very, like he said, he wants to handle it right then, and I can't process it that fast, which when I feel rushed, it just makes me want to not talk about it even more. But like he said, it's definitely not as bad as it used to be.
Sunshine. I know that's a weird word, but sunshine as in that the sun is warm, she's kind, she's always looking out for me. She's always a bright light shining through the darkness that makes me understand where to go and what I should be doing. When I'm hugged up next to her, she's nice and warm.
Thank you.
And she's just a bright person. She's giddy, she's fun, she makes me laugh, she puts a smile on my face. And just like the sun, I can't live without her.
Soulmate. What? I mean it. Because I was thinking about all of it and I was like wrapping into one word. Because, like I said, this is my best friend. And, you know, people say soulmate doesn't have to be the person that you marry or your spouse or anything like that. And I feel like even if we weren't together, something would be like drawing me to him. Even like before we got together, I always looked at Darius as this person, like he's always smiling. This is a completely different little boy now. He's always smiling. He's always happy. He makes me laugh. He makes me feel like, hey, Darius. And he's going to ask me about my day or ask me like just stupid things, little small things about my life. But now I'm knowing he's gathering data to use to try to get me. But
I wasn't thinking about that. Then.
Sure.
I'd say kind. I mean, have you ever met somebody nicer? Like, for real? Am I supposed to explain or just, okay. Well, like, we were obviously friends before we started dating, and she just was one of the most kind and thoughtful people I've ever met. And she might say she's not, you know, because she's short and wants to be a little spitball of fire, but that's not what she is. She's so sweet and thinks about everyone before herself. Literally won't think about herself at all.
I want to say persistence, because you're a very hardworking person and you definitely do not give up even in the greatest fets of time.
I've asked her out a million times.
Yes, you did. Like
asked her
I said no. I said no like the first 3 times, and he was like, "No, this is gonna be my girl." And
Yeet. She got it wrong again. She called me up while I'm on a trip in Florida, and she says, "Hey, you can take me on a date."
you took me on a date, and we're here a year later now.
Yeah, I did.
Chloe is very determined. Okay, I know that sounds very broad, but yeah. So
Make it good.
when she sets her mind on something, there's nothing to stop her flow of ideas and her perspective and the different ways that a situation can play out. She'll sit there and plan. She is a planner. She will sit there and actually write out these things. You can bring up, what are we gonna do for Christmas? Something that simple, and she will write pages on pages of the possibilities of what we could do on Christmas, how much it would cost, how you would get to point A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and a new letter that you didn't think of. But yeah, it's just that when she gets that way, it just kind of inspires me sometimes. And I really like when she gets that way, because she'll just sit there and write in her diary or her little book, and she'll sit there and explain to me what she's been thinking and all her inner thoughts. And she just opens up to me, and it lets me see a different perspective of her than what we see from each other day to day. And I really like that about her. It helps me get myself going.
Hardworking. I've never met somebody as hardworking, even though he gets scared about not being able to complete things. Once he gets past that, that's all he wants to do is finish it in any aspect of his life, in our relationship, in any of his relationships, in work, sometimes in school. I wish you'd be more hardworking in school.
I graduated. I got that piece of paper.
In going back to school. What is love? I don't know. I guess to me, mostly it's just being comfortable. Comfortable, like, in so many different ways. Like, being comfortable with each other, being comfortable with yourself, being comfortable enough to know that, like, y'all don't have to see each other all the time, and nothing's gonna be, like, bad's gonna come out of not seeing each other all the time. Because I know that if I don't see Colin for 2 weeks, he'll probably miss me more than I miss him, but
For sure.
I know that it didn't affect our relationship in any way, especially for me because I enjoy alone time a lot. So being comfortable enough in the fact that I know that I can have that and nothing's gonna go wrong and I don't have to constantly reassure somebody that I'm there. Yeah, just being comfortable.
Or not just putting in the work when you don't want to. It's like you lose that feeling of not wanting to. Like you don't even think about that really. Like you just want to be there for that person. And I mean, it's not just like in this kind of relationship, but I think in life with anyone, you know, it's where their needs either you put before yourself or you at least take into account before yourself.
So we're speaking non-platonically. I like when Darius brings me food or says, let's go get food. Like if I say I'm hungry and he mentions food, it makes me really happy. And it lets me know that he loves me because he cares about, you know, what's wrong with me. Or like if I get really upset and I'm yelling at him and he's like, you need a nap? You know me. Yes, I do need a nap. Like, I just think that when you love someone, you pay attention. Like what he was saying about paying attention to me and my inner thoughts and things like that. That's love. When you care enough to think about someone's feelings and consider what they've said in the past and just remember all of their hopes and dreams, that's love.